All right, God bless everyone that's going to be joining me for this video. I am Sister Liberty and I am back in Revelation. So one of the things we must understand is that we are in a spiritual battle. You know, during my last live, I was attacked towards the end of my video. The enemy does not like the fact that the sons of God exposes the truth and shun his lies. He does not like that. He does not like that. And so, being that we are in a spiritual battle, we, as the sons of God, we must know how to stand our ground. We must know that the battle is not ours, it is the Lord's. However, it does involve our participation. I must know that God has given me authority and dominion in the earth, and as a result of that, I must operate in the power that he has given me in the earth through his spirit, by his spirit. I must know that it doesn't matter what weapons the enemy tries to throw at me. It doesn't matter the opposition or the persecution or the adversity. I must know and I must understand that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, will prosper. It will not prevail. It will not succeed. And so I must know who I am, whose I am, what I am. I must understand that this is a war. This is a battle, a daily battle, a weekly battle, a monthly battle, a yearly battle. I must keep that in the forefront of my mind that I am ever fighting. Who are we fighting up against? We are fighting within our sinful selves, our sinful nature, our souls. We are battling against the sins of the world, and we are battling against Satan and his kingdom. He despises you. Satan despises you. He desires that you not know the truth. He desires that you not convert and that you be transformed. He desires that you die in your sin, you die in your cursed and sinful state, and that you spend forever in the lake of fire with him. That is his desire. He doesn't want you to come into the knowledge of the truth. Satan doesn't want you to begin to identify who you are in Christ. He doesn't want you to begin to know that you actually have power and dominion over him. He doesn't want you to know that you are actually the head and not the tail, that you are actually above and not beneath, that you actually have weapons of warfare, that you actually have weapons to actually go before, in the battlefield and fight him. He does not want you to know the truth. And so he comes to make war with the saints. He comes to wear out the saints. The beast that we talked about in the previous chapters is going to be given power to wear out the saints. So if we are already the kind of people that wavers in our faith, then we're going to be easily defeated by the enemy when he rises up. He already comes as a roaring lion. He already comes in small areas throughout our day to try to get us to forfeit what we've been given by God. He tries to get us to forfeit our peace, to forfeit our keys, to forfeit our crowns, to forfeit the positions and the weapons that we have. He's already doing that. He already can see that you're naked and that you're shamed because of your garments. He can see in the spirit whose garments are actually clean and pure and is maintaining what they're getting, and he can see those who they're doing things in secret. They're doing things behind closed doors. He can see what's on their garments. He can see whether or not parts of their garments are missing. He can see in the spirit who actually has on the armor of God and who just talks. The enemy can see that. And so he's subtle. He's cunning. He comes like a thief. He comes like a roaring lion. He comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So if you don't know who you are, if you don't understand that we are in a spiritual battle, then you're going to be on the wrong side and you're not going to know how to fight effectively. And so, of course, your days are going to look like defeat. Your week is going to end in defeat. You're going to feel defeated. You're going to feel worn out. And so when these times come upon us, then you're not going to be able to stand. You understand that? You know, a lot of people are not going to be able to stand then because they can't stand now in small time. These are just This is training ground for the sons of God. All that we are experiencing in this season. And I'm going to get into the, the ending part of Revelation 17. But I have to address this because the enemy has been attacking me and a lot of my lives where I have talked about Revelation, specifically where I have exposed by the Spirit of God, the different things that is going to take place. I have been attacked. And so I have to address the lies. I have to address the schemes. I have to address the deception. If you are not able to stand in these times, how are you sure that you're going to stand in those times when the nation falls? America will fall. America will go through a change that we've never seen before. What you see now is going to be completely different when this nation falls. You're not going to have the freedom that you think that you have. Many of you feel as though you are a free people. If you are not in Christ, you are not a free people. You are a bond people. You are a people that is in bondage, especially if you look at the world in the light of segregation, meaning I only look out for my kind. I'm a darker complexion, so I only look out for those that are close to my complexion. If I'm a little lighter, I only look out for those that are a little lighter like me. I look at the world in a different lens. And so that's how I view life. That's how I view life. And so things are going to shift. Things are going to change. Things are already changing and shifting as the days get worse. So I've been hearing a lot about time. Let me let you know that time is running out. Guess who understands and knows that? Satan. That's what Revelation tells us, is his time is short. He has a time. He has a time frame. He has a deadline as to when his time will expire. And so he knows that. Satan knows that there's a time frame, that there's a cutoff time. But the people of the world who's so blinded, who's so full of the world, drunken with the world, cannot see the times that we are in. Jesus said that we are going to know that his time, there's that word again, his time is drawing near based on the different signs. You know, signs are a beautiful thing because they warn us. They warn us. They prepare us. They get us ready. Warning comes before destruction. And so signs are a good thing because they position us to prepare for whatever it is we need to be ready for. And so whenever Jesus says that you will know the signs, you will see the signs, that's warning. Hey, the times, the word times again, the times are drawing near. Take heed when you see these kind of things manifesting. That's to let you know that the time is drawing near and that you need to get more prepared. And so signs are a beautiful thing. Signs are a good thing. They notify you. They reposition you. They realign your focus to know, wait a minute. If for a moment I lost focus, I became stagnant. I became complacent. I just saw this. That's a reminder that I need to keep pace. That's a reminder that I need to keep focused. I need to keep my mind and my eyes on Jesus because I don't want to step out of line for a moment. I don't want to lose sight. I don't want to lose focus for a moment because if I do, then I can be blindsided. I can be blindsided. So let's get into the end of Revelation. So we recently talked about the fall of the Mystery Babylon, which is America. Now, I've had dreams throughout the years of the fall of the nation. And I may have mentioned yesterday of how I've heard different testimonies, different experiences that other people all around the world have had about the fall of this nation. People who have never even been in America. They've never stepped foot in America have had prophetic dreams about the fall of America. And so I've had a few myself of where I I saw foreign nations come who had different types of, I knew that they were a foreign nation that had entered U.S. soil because of the different types of vehicles that they were driving. The writing was not in English. I could not understand it. I could not read it, but I knew that what was on the vehicles that I saw was from a foreign nation. And so I've had dreams to where I saw different nations come in and take over American soil. I saw different types of natural disasters occur, to where one dream that I had back in Florida, I remember the whole Florida was underwater. I remember there was a big tsunami that happened and a lot of people had lost their lives. A lot of people had lost their lives. And I remember hearing someone say that Port St. Lucie was underwater. I remember talking to a friend and they telling me that Port St. Lucie was underwater. So I've had that dream. I've had visions of concentration camps, of people who were unwilling to submit to the system of the Antichrist. I saw how the government, or whatever government that was, I saw how they were taken. They were taken and they were placed in concentration camps. I saw these things happening. I saw food shortages, of how food is going to go up, but it's also going to be limited. I saw that. I saw how, and I've had several dreams, so I'm mixing them right now. I'm merging them right now because in the moment I can't really name a specific one unless I get my book. But I remember seeing outbreaks, different outbreaks of different types of viruses and different types of disease that are going to break out in these last days. And it's interesting that we had one recently in 2020. We had the COVID that broke out. That was just one of the different disease that I saw in my dreams. There were disease and viruses in my dreams that affected the respiratory system, you know. And there was one that was so bad that it made, and I'm sorry if this is graphic, but there was one, it made people's eyes bleed. It was really bad. It made people's eyes bleed. Trying to think what else. It's been some time since I've had end time dream concerning America, but okay, the war or the violence that's going to break out, it's going to be very bad. It's going to be very bad. It's going to be very scary. It's going to be very scary because people are going to begin to turn on each other. People are going to begin to kill people. They're going to kill people. They're going to kill people. They're going to rebel against the government. They're going to rebel against the land, the authority of the land. They're going to do these things. And so I say all that to say of how these things are already slowly happening, how there is a rebellion in the land. You know, America has rebelled against their first authority, which is God. And they also have rebelled against the authority of the land. That's why you have it to where people do not respect the local authorities, like the officers, the police officers. They don't respect the government. They don't, you know, respect the mayor. They don't respect, you know, any governmental, you know, office. They don't, because they don't fear God, because man does not fear God. Man does not fear man as well. So where you already have a sinful nature. You rebel against God. You run from God. You reject God. Your lifestyle communicates that you hate God and that, you know, you don't care that it angers God that you live the way you live. And so you already don't respect God as being the one who created you. And so what makes you think that a nation that already has fought for its independence and has set the stage for rebellion, what makes you think that the people of that nation is going to submit to the authority? That's why this nation is doing certain things, and this is by the Spirit of God, doing certain things to kind of force that submission to authority. One of the ways that they're doing that is through brainwashing and manipulation. That's why they put all kinds of things on the TV for you to watch. They give you different social media platforms. When TikTok came out, which was a few years ago, that was a big thing. That was a big distraction. And you see where that has gone now. These are the different things that your government puts into place to brainwash you and to program your mind, to have a particular perspective, which is why so many people cannot recognize the voice of God or the Spirit of God. Many people, they cannot identify the Spirit of God in today's world, in America, especially because of most churches that have given the body a bad reputation because of the way that they are choosing to live. They are choosing to live two ways, a double life. They go to church on Sundays and they give a prophetic word, or they give a nice sermon, or they're a minister, but all the other days they live a particular way. And so they've given a church a bad name. And so you have a nation that lacks the fear of God and actually lacks submission and obedience to the authorities in their own lives, like their parents. The kids of today's world, had they been born in my time, they would have come out a little different. They would have been a little different because most of us had old school parents. And so if they met my grandmother, they would not have a mouth. They probably would not be here still if, they were the way that they are now back then. That would not be tolerated. And so you see how the generations are getting worse. The curse on America has gotten worse. The rising of rebellion has gotten worse. You hear the kids of today's time and how they talk to their parents, how they talk to their teachers, how they talk to their authorities. Most of the kids, they don't know what it's like to respect the police officers, because those that have gone before them and was supposed to set the stage has made it to where they rebel. Like, hey, you're this kind of person. Your skin color is this way. You have to look out for your own kind. And so you don't submit to anyone that's not your kind. And so they set the stage to rebel. And so the government has to do things, program people, brainwash people, give them electronic devices, give them alien technology to position them in a place of submission. You don't know that many of you are brainwashed. You don't know that many of you have been given a perspective through your social media platforms, through television, meaning there are certain things that they put on TV. There are certain celebrities that they put in a place of position to communicate to you, to speak things into your soul, to speak things into your heart and in your mind so that you think a certain way, so that you feel a certain way. Yeah, that artist sung about white officers beating black people. That made you feel a way. This artist sung about tapping into your ancestors and doing witchcraft and feeling your energy, and so you feel a certain way. This celebrity sung about suicide and loving you, being your own kind, loving you for you and looking out for you, and so that made you feel a certain way. That did something to your mind. That did something to your heart. And so you have it to where the people of the nation here in America are being programmed. They are being conditioned for the mark of the beast, for that system, and don't even know it. Why? Because they are oblivious. They cannot recognize the Spirit of God when they see it, because they go to church too. Them and their ungodly pastors go to church too and be in the club with them. And so they become desensitized to what's happening around them. They're calling good bad and bad good. So this is the time that we are coming into, where when the nation fall, many people will already have been conditioned to openly receive the mark of the beast, because they are already receiving something now. You already receive the evil that's in the world. They tell you, hey, this is good now. And so you just go along with it because your brain has been conditioned to. You don't realize that what you're receiving on TV is projecting things into your mind and in your heart. And you may say, but I don't feel that. I don't feel anything when I watch these kind of movies and when I watch these kind of shows, and when I listen to this celebrity or I listen to this person speak, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything being transferred. I don't feel anything being contracted. I feel fine, but you don't realize that that's doing something to your mind. That's doing something to your heart. That's causing you to think away about God, think away about the people of God, think away about your world, and you wonder why there's no appetite for the Lord. You wonder why the youth of this generation, they don't have any appetite for the Lord. They don't respect the authority. And so what makes you think that they're going to respect a higher authority? No. The enemy is at work in the earth, especially in this nation. Why? This nation has influence. The nation of America, the demon, the principality that's governing America has the spirit of influence. And so the people of this nation, they don't have a desire to go back to the God that was once the God of this nation. America was founded on godly principles, on Christian beliefs. But what has happened over the years? We've allowed so many different things to come in and take the place of God. Money has come in and taken the place of God. And so people feel like as though I don't need God. Why do I need God when I can be my own God? I can provide for myself. And so that's the rebellion that's being birthed in people's hearts. That's the pride that's being stirred up in people's heart, feeling as though I don't need nobody. I am my own person. And you don't realize that you're being conditioned. The people of this nation are being conditioned for the fall of the nation. They are being conditioned for the fall of the nation, and the government knows that. And then those that have the rebellious part, meaning it doesn't matter what the government do. They're not submitting to the government. The government is going to do things to kill off the population so that the few that's left is easier to control. Yeah, the few that's left. So yeah, they're going to come out with different types of viruses and disease and things in the atmosphere that messes with your mind, messes with your brain, messes with your emotions, messes with your feeling. You wonder why people want to kill themselves. You wonder why the suicide rate has gone up. I don't know if you know that, but I know that about the spirit. But it has gone up. Why? Because of what's happening in our atmosphere. The fact that people have become oblivious because they've been brainwashed and programmed to be blinded to the truth of God. And you know, God has allowed that for a reason, because the people have not humbled themselves. Hosea says that the people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear them from heaven, and I will heal their land. And so God has closed people's ears. He's closed people's eyes. He's closed people's hearts because of the condition of their hearts. Meaning, if he were to open some people's ears and some people's eyes and some people's hearts, they still would not convert. They still would not convert. So I done pretty much got into all of this. I'm still going to read it, but I pretty much covered it all. Verse 14 of Revelation 17 says, these shall make war with the Lamb. Who is this talking about? It's talking about Satan and those that follow him, his army. You don't know that Satan has an army too? You don't know that a third of the angels fell from heaven along with him? He has an army. This is why he's come to make war with the saints. Satan has an army. And so he's coming. He's so prideful that he's coming to make war with Jesus for the final battle. He already knows his end, but his pride tells him that, you know, I can fight this war and I can win this war. And it says the Lamb shall overcome them. Oh, Satan will be defeated. He's already defeated. But in that final battle, he will be done. He will be finished off. He will be finished off. For he is Lord of lords. This is talking about Jesus Christ. And King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. That better be you and I. You have to decide. You are among the called. You are among the chosen. You are among the faithful. And he said unto me, the waters which you saw where the horse sits are people and multitudes and nations and tongues. Guess what? There's going to be a new world order. Every nation is going to come together and decide to agree on one system, to agree on one idol, one thing that they should worship, one mind. That's what it said back in 13. These have one mind. They're going to be of one mind, one accord. Everyone of all nations and tongues are going to come and worship the beast. and the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Yeah, this nation is going to fall. The enemies that the Lord is going to rise up or raise up, they're going to turn against this nation. They're going to turn against this nation and make war against this nation. And this nation will fall. The money will fall. The banks will be shut down. You will not have access to your money. You will not have access to food. You will not have access to certain things until that system is set in place. Then you will have the choice and the option to take the mark of the beast. If you want access to your money, if you want access to your kids, if you want access to food, you will have to take this mark. Yeah, the enemy knows that because you already don't rely on God, you are designed to survive. And so a person will go into fight or flight mode, meaning they're going to do what's in them as their first nature, their first carnal nature by default. That's to protect themselves. And so when there's a lack of food, when people are starving and people are hungry, people are going to begin to do any and everything. People are going to start eating people. People will begin to eat. People will begin to get desperate. They're going to start eating their own children. They're going to start eating those of their household because they're not going to be able to get food. They're not going to be able to eat. We don't know what it's like to starve. We don't know what it's like to not eat, go days. Some of us fast for a day or two and we feel like we're dying. So what happens when you no longer have access to food for a week? And then it turns into 2 weeks. And then you, after that point, after a certain time, when a person doesn't consume food, they start to hallucinate. They start to become paranoid. Their mind starts doing things because you need food to survive. At least so we think. You need food to survive. Listen, if you're not living off of this daily bread, then you're not living. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. If you're not eating this, then you will not be able to stand within those days. You will perish. You will make bad decisions. You will start eating people. People are going to begin to get very desperate. When they tell you that you no longer have access to your money, people are going to do some stuff. Yeah, they're going to start attacking the banks and robbing the convenience stores and wherever they believe that there's money, wherever they believe they can get food, people are going to start doing things, eating their animals, their pets, eating their children. People are going to begin to get desperate. People are going to be losing their minds. More people are going to get on drugs. More people are going to try to drink themselves to death because things are going to be that bad. People are not going to want to endure those times. People are not going to want to live through those times, especially if they have starving babies and kids and parents that are elderly. People are not going to want to live through those times. It's going to be bad. And so this nation is going to fall. Yeah. They're going to burn her with fire. America is going to fall to the ground and it will be nothing. It will be nothing. God will bring judgment here on American soil. We can't even fathom. I can go back and forth about the food and the money and the mark, but that's nothing compared to what it's actually going to be like. I'm telling you, it's going to be bad. We're going to beg the sons of God. We're going to beg for the Lord to come. Even so, come quickly. Even so, Lord, come quickly. Like, Lord, come now. I can't live past this another moment. That's why the beast, the Antichrist, they're going to be given a short time, because if it were possible, even the very elect would be deceived. God forbid. For God has put in their hearts to fulfill his will. God is doing it now. God is putting it in people's hearts, people that are wicked. He's putting it in their hearts to fulfill what he's written in this book. Yeah, why don't you all release an outbreak that's going to kill people? Why don't you all pass this law? He just puts it in people's hearts, the wicked. He just puts it in their hearts to begin passing laws like same-sex marriage. He just puts it in their hearts to pass laws like, you can buy a gun at 18. He just puts it in their hearts to be able to abort kids up until, full term. He puts it in their hearts. He's doing that. He just puts it in their hearts to come up with a TV show that promotes bestiality, that promotes homosexuality, that promotes incest. Yeah, he puts it in their hearts. He puts it in their hearts to let someone rise and start a false belief, start a false religion, start a false doctrine. Yeah, for the wicked, for the cursed. He puts it in their hearts. He puts it. You don't know God does that? God puts it in people's hearts to do things so that it fulfills his word. That's what happened with the Pharisees. That's what happened with the people that were left with a decision to make whether they wanted Barabbas or whether they wanted Jesus. God put that in their hearts. God put that in their hearts to choose Barabbas over Jesus because Jesus had to go into the ground. Jesus had to die for our sins. He put that in their hearts. And so God is going to be doing that more in these last days so that they fulfill his will and so that they agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of God shall be fulfilled. Oh, yes. Every word of God will come to pass. Make no mistake about it. God is not a man that he should lie. God is not a man that he should lie. Oh, no, this will be fulfilled one way or the other. I'm going to put it in someone's heart. You know, God had to allow Judas to be the one to betray him because it had to be fulfilled. The prophecy had to be fulfilled. So God is going to do that. He's going to put things in people's hearts, in the wicked's heart, the wicked people's heart, so that things can be fulfilled. Yeah. Why don't you release this outbreak? Why don't you release this virus? He's going to put that in people's hearts. And the woman which you saw is that great city which reign over the kings of the earth. Is that not America? America reigns over the nations of the world until it falls. Until it falls, and everything that we thought we had will be of none effect. Our money, our freedom, the freedom that you thought you had, you will no longer have freedom anymore. You will be subject and submitted to the one world government. When it comes onto America's soil, you will have to make a decision. Either you're going to submit to the beast and his image and his mark, or you can turn to the one true God. I'm telling you, a lot of people who you know to have been a believer, they're going to fall away from the faith. They're going to walk away from the faith. Why? Because Satan, the beast, he's going to be given power to wear out the saints. You know what that means? He's going to try to make you tired. He's going to try to burn you out. He's going to try to wear you out to where you don't want to go. You don't want to endure no more. You don't want to run anymore. You're tired of the persecution. You're tired of the suffering. You're tired of the pain. You're tired of the torment. He's going to be given power to wear out the saints. Are you tired yet? This is why we need the Lord, and we need stamina. We need stamina to continue to endure because the enemy is going to be given power to make you tap out. Give you power to make you tap out. You're not tired yet. That virus wasn't enough. Or what's taking your kids wasn't enough. So you still won't deny your God. You still won't bow to the image. You still won't take the mark of the beast. How about we put you in a cold freezer? How about we send you to concentration camp? How about we strip you of your rights? How about we take your Bible from you? How about we forbid you and threaten your life and make you feel as though that if you do not bow to our image, we're going to kill you. You have to get to a place where you say, listen, I will not fear man. Jesus says, don't be afraid of men in their faces. He says you better fear the one that can cast both body and soul into hell. They can't do anything. The people of this world, they can't do anything to you. Listen, you are not of this world. And so, like Paul said, to die is gain. Listen, if they kill me in this life, I don't lose. I do not lose. Why? Because I'm going to see my maker. I'm going to see my king, and I get a new body that never dies. And so to die in this life for Christ's sake, no, that's an honor. That's gain right there. That's gain. And so we can't be afraid of the beast and his image. We can't be afraid of what people can do because they can only destroy the body. They can only destroy this body. You better fear the one that can cast your body and your soul into hell. And so may the Spirit of God, may he give you the ears to hear in Jesus' name.